Hi folks, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is about van security and janky setups like this. So CCTV systems that are wireless but with some janky little additions using a blink camera at a certain angle allows me to remotely view my CCTV. I've installed blink cameras and Haloview wireless cameras around the van as part of my security kind of system on the van to keep me feeling safe inside and also keep my van safe as well. So in this video we're going to go through a whole range of things that I use in my van for my personal security and the van security, and mentioning the products which I use and explaining why. So along with the new CCTV, I'm also adding this, which is a rear door security additional lock. So as you can see there's a plate that goes either side of the door lock and then a locking pin that goes in between. For anybody installing one of these on a Jakarta, Relay or Boxer, it's a T40 bit. So that's the hex head for the bolts. Now for me, I use the multi-tool to cut the plastic. But obviously if you haven't got anything around there, then you don't need to cut anything out. But those are the plastic. That's how thick the Solway panels are, by the way. A lot of you are asking. Very, 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 very good quality. That's that side. Obviously, like I said, I've just cut out to go around the Solway panel. And it just goes on the 3 bolts that already are in existence to the upper lock. This fits on top of the door latch. And the screws are long enough, the bolts are long enough to accommodate that. And that's the other side. Again, I've just cut out for the Solway panel. Need to just neaten it off, and then use the same 3 bolts, and then that fits around it. So that's where the pin sits normally, and then you just basically feed it through the holes and then snap that across, and that means it's not going to fall out or anything like that. I've got access to my rear door handle, so if I if I open that door now, you can see then that the outside is kind of visible, and you can see I can move it so the door isn't locked or anything like that, but that is not moving. It's solid. So yeah, that locking pin and everything else around that, all the mechanism and everything, are a very, very strong point to install it in there. So yeah, right now that is totally locked in place. So if I do want to get access to my van, I pull that out, and now just to prove the door wasn't locked, there you go. So that's how good it is. So I'm just going to make adjustments to that side there, just so they align up a little bit better. All right, there we go, nicely aligned now. Like I say, it was just a case of undoing those bolts a little bit and tweaking it, so that was nice and easy. But as I showed, it doesn't have to be perfectly aligned for it still to work, as long as those holes line up and there is a bit of a tolerance, then you're all right. But yeah, that's obviously a big thing for anybody with a van, is to make sure that the back doors, have got deadlocks on or anything else. So this van's obviously got a normal lock, which is deadlocked, but people can get crowbars and try and peel them over. So yeah, that's an extra little bit of security. And if anybody was wondering about, oh, but you've got a rear window, John, that's what the ladder's for, strangely enough. I did this so that I could get fresh airflow, which I'm getting right now. It's a lovely breeze coming through, but the ladder protects anybody from getting in there. There's no chance whatsoever you're going to get in there. So yeah, that is why I'm not too fussed about securing that window, because that window is nice and secure already. So yeah, nice little addition for a what, 10-15 minute job, and that included me cutting around the Solway panels to fit them in properly. So if you haven't got that problem, then it's probably a 5-minute job really. Right then, so I should have a left, a right, a front and a back camera. So this is the base part of the kit, and it is just a backup camera system as the base part of the kit. A lot of people say, why don't you go for a bigger screen, or a 1080 rather than 720p or whatever. And I've said I've used this now on 3 vehicles, and yeah, but it just works flawlessly and the quality is fantastic. So that's why I'm going with the same one. I'm going with it because I know it works and it does the job and it lasts, it doesn't break down or anything like that. So if you do on the spec of it, that's roughly the spec. So you can see, 4 channels means 4 cameras. Aspect ratio is 16:9, so it's the format you're watching on the screen now. The other thing I like about this, it says there maximum 128 gig for micro SD card. And that is because down the bottom here it says built-in DVR. What does that mean? That means that when you leave your van and you leave this system on, so it's going to record everything around your van to the SD card inside. As long as the screen's on and the cameras are all powered up, it'll record it. So you can come back and find some sort of damage to your van or something happened, and then you can play it back and find out exactly what happened. And bear in mind, these record audio as well. So not only do you get video recording, but you get audio as well. Like I say, in the kit, backup camera. So that is your rear camera. Then they do this weird and wonderful thing, which is your front camera. It comes with a mounting bracket and a rubber seal. And then these are left and right cameras. And they basically are markers as well. So these go wherever you want to do them. And again, this is like for a truck system or whatever. So you mount them on the side of the van, wherever you want to mark them, and the light comes on as well. And even though the camera's mounted sideways, the view is right. So you might think that the camera should be mounted like that, like the other cameras, but no, if you mount it like that, your image is like that. So you mount it sideways to get a flat image. So you got a left and a right, a front and a rear, and a screen, all the mounting kit and all the cables and everything else, and even a bracket as well. So that's this powered up. Obviously it's got its antenna on. I've got all my cameras, outside cameras, on a power switch, just so that if I'm in the van all day, that they're not draining my power. Try and look after my power as much as I possibly can. So I've got it on a remote relay switch. There we go. So probably hear me through the speaker, but I think that's quite a cool image as well. So it's literally right down the back of the van, so I can see there, and I can also use it as like a backup camera as well. So there we go, all set up now. You've got one screen that's got all 4 on, and then you can have a screen at a time. So that's front camera, offside camera, near side camera. Hello. So that one's over my door, and you can see there how clear it is. Really clear. And then obviously we've got a backup camera, so you can go into the menu. I can have park line assist, I can set up the record, playback, pairing of the cameras, which I've had to do, mirroring so that it appears left or right or up and down the same, auto scan, so it'll just like basically just flick between each camera and go through that way. So what I actually did in the end, I didn't want to mount the side cameras that way. Just generally wanted a different view, so I've detached the cameras from those mounts and then detached the cameras in the correct orientation to give me the 16:9 look, which does mean it looks right now like the cameras are on the side, but trust me, the cameras being on the side does actually mean I get the views that you're about to see from the CCTV system. So yeah, don't be worried about that if you don't want to use them that way. Now I also wanted to remotely view this system because it's not Wi-Fi enabled or anything like that. So when I'm out of the van, I want to be able to see what's going on through my camera system. So I got the Blink system. Now they had a mega sale on recently where you could get 4 Blink cameras for 80 quid. So I got the whole system for 80 quid. I used one of them in front of this screen, so that I can then just basically use the blink camera to monitor my CCTV. Obviously that meant I had 3 other cameras going spare, so I've mounted obviously that one right there. I've then mounted one on the interior of the van, so that I can then see who's coming in the van. I can also see all the doors access from the front. Like I said, the back one's totally blocked off now, so no one can come in that way anyway. But I could see them on the CCTV anyway. And I've also installed a blink camera on the front and rear of the van, so we can have a really good comparison now about how well they work. So this is where I've located them on the back, quite close together. Made a little bracket for the blink system. They're supposed to be weatherproof, so we'll see how far that goes. You know, I've tried these before. I tried them a year ago in winter, and I didn't rate them because of everything, slush and slime and everything, and water getting into them. But during the daytime, they're all right. So here's an example of the front camera during the daytime, and here's an example of the same front camera at the night time, and obviously it's raining as well. So yeah, not so good at night time. So here's the CCTV. Here's an example on the side view during the day, and then obviously we've got the same CCTV image of the side view during the night. This is the blink camera that I've installed inside my van, and you'll notice as soon as I come in there, it goes dark, it goes to night mode, and this is where the night mode works really well. So here's another example, a blink camera at night when it's not raining, just so you can see the type of image to expect, and then the blink camera at night when it is raining. So as long as it's got something to see, it does make a clearer image. This is basically just using my phone now to record the screen for the CCTV system, just so you can get an idea of how much extra detail you get from the CCTV system at the daytime or nighttime in comparison to the blink system. You know, the blink system is very good. It's, you know, easy to install, but it is very basic, whereas the CCTV system, obviously a little bit more difficult to install, but you do get that extra detail in everything that you see, unless it is a car park at night, in which case you'll just get a grainy image like we've seen. But obviously, like Mandy's van next to it, or the front of the van there, where you can see the detail of like the road, you can see the flies, you know, flying around, and the ability to get the 4 cameras shown on one screen as well, I think works really well. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, the blink system is probably, you know, for £89, if they do that deal again, is an exceptional system to install that's very simple. But if you want something that's going to record all the detail all the time and give you an ability to look at all the cameras at the same time all the time, then yeah, the Haloview system is absolutely brilliant. And like I say, I've had it on 3 vehicles now, and I've not been disappointed by any of them. They've never let me down. Now, another way to secure your vehicle is to stop somebody driving off with it, and this is a fantastic little device. It's disc lock, and it basically is the best selling and most secure way that you can easily stop anybody from driving off. Not only for the fact that now they can't get to your steering wheel, it spins around on the steering wheel, so it doesn't sort of lock it in place, but also the fact that it's got a mechanical way to stop it moving around as well. And it's also won all sorts of awards about its security and ease of use and all that kind of stuff. It's a British company, British invention as well. Also sits in the side door pocket perfectly as well. So really cool thing. And like I say, it's just also another visual deterrent if people were to see it going past. But it's obviously a physical deterrent as well. And speaking of visual deterrents, this is what I do when I leave the van. So I'm a firm believer in trying to outsmart the thieves at every possible point, and that includes trying to make them think whether this is an easy, quick target for them. So if they can't see inside to see if there's anybody there or what's inside and what's available to steal, the chances are they'll walk past, certainly with all the CCTV cameras and everything like that on the side of the van as well. So this is what I do. So I basically block off all access to the inside. The back doors are locked, the blinds up and closed on the back window. Both side windows, the blinds are up and I've made sure they're locked. My wheel lock is on, my disc lock is on, and I've also basically removed all valuables from the front anyway. I then close all the blinds and I spin the chairs around as well. So if they open it by any chance, they're going to get the fact that there's a chair in the way, so they won't know what's going on with that anyway. There are many other things you can do, and there's always the point of, if a thief is determined enough, they will get in. These vehicles are built to a price, and yeah, security is obviously our level, but it's not up there as important as our safety as a driver or a passenger, thankfully, as well. But yeah, you can buy $100,000 car, and someone can just walk up to your driveway with a computer, detect your key in your house, and then unlock your car and drive off with it. So yeah, there are many ways to steal a vehicle or break into a vehicle. Bricks work well as well with glass. I'd just make it as difficult as possible for them to work out if it's worth their time and the risk. They could break in and find 50 people inside ready to rip them, and you know what. They could break inside and find nothing. They could break inside and find the crown jewels. You know, it's their risk that they're willing to take, and that's what I try and do, basically. If the vehicle is ever stolen, I have other things that are installed in the vehicle which I'm not about to tell, because obviously that'd be a bit silly, but I have multiple versions of different trackers, one which allows me to remotely kill the vehicle as well if I want to, as in, you know, to cut off all the electrics. It's obviously got factory systems like deadlocks and immobilizers as well. So if you didn't know, there's obviously a button on the dash on these vehicles where you can lock and unlock all the doors, central locking. That doesn't flash the indicators outside, by the way, for those of you who don't want to give any doggers any kind of, you know, wrong impressions in a car park late at night. If you just want to lock the door on the button, the lights don't flash outside. However, if you want to alarm it as well, the middle button on these activates the alarm, but that does flash the lights on the outside, as does if you double press the button on your key fob, which actually alarms it and deadlocks it at the same time. So not only can you not get out, but nobody can get in from the inside or get in from the outside either. So that's pretty good, but obviously those flash the lights. So if you want to wait until all the doggers have left at night and then blip the alarm, obviously yeah, that works too. And there are many other smart and wonderful devices out there. I've seen people that have got gear lever lock devices, pedal devices as well that lock the pedals in place. Like I say, you can have them all. You can have all the door locks, the security locks, the deadlocks, the extra locks, the slam locks. You can have them all, and people will still find their way into your vehicle, or to steal your vehicle, or simply, like they do in London for parking fines, someone can just come up and pick your vehicle up off the side of the street, drop it off in a low loader and drive off with it, which is where tracking and other sort of like information and devices are very helpful. So yeah, hope you've liked this video. If you've got any hints and tips about how you secure your vehicle, obviously leave them in the comments for everyone else to read, and I'll catch you on the next video. Obviously, if you have liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up, share it on any forums or any other groups for other people to see this advice, and yeah, please subscribe if this is your type of content you like, and I'll catch you on the next video. See you later, folks. Bye.